You're in Oz.
It's like no place I've ever seen.
Playing Finley, there's so many options now for playing a character like this, whether it's motion capture or pure animation.
Right.
What was your process on set, and how much of you is in the final physical rendering of the character?
A lot. I mean, I was on set every single day. We didn't do the traditional, like, Andy Serkis mocap thing with the dots on my face. Sam wanted, like, what he wanted most was pure, raw videotape of what I was doing. So he had 3 cameras on me on set at all times, separate from the film cameras, that were just capturing anything I did, gestures, facial expressions, and then, of course, my voice. And he wanted me there on set to be improvising with James and making up jokes and just kind of keeping it really alive. And then there were times where I would, where I couldn't be where the monkey would need to be. So I had, sometimes I would operate a puppet. And then the third way is what we called puppet cam, where I would be in this booth with the video camera on my face. And that way, if the monkey needed to be flying or in some position I could never be in, there was this long stick that puppeteers would operate that had a monitor on the end of it with my face. And James had a tiny earpiece in his ear, and that allowed us to keep going. And so it depended on the shot, depending on what the situation was. And then the animators went and animated it, and I could see from the movie like lots of stuff, gestures, subtle little things I did with my eyes that made it in.
It's fascinating because a character like this can be the Achilles heel of a movie sometimes.
Jar Jar Binks?
That is the fine line. And I think what you guys do is you ground him and you make him sympathetic, but he's not just comic relief, and he's not just there to be the joke, haha, punchline. How do you navigate that tone? Because I think it's so tricky on something like this.
I think with anything it has to be first and foremost grounded. You have to go, all right, no matter how fantastical this is, a flying winged monkey, we still gotta, we have to convince ourselves he's a real creature. So he can't just be just comic relief. He has to have heart. We have to feel like he's a real living being. So I think Sam does, that's Sam Raimi at his finest. I mean, I think he really wanted Finley to be the conscience of Oz. He wanted him to have a big heart and be honest and true and the ultimate, the kind of the polar opposite of what Oz is at the beginning of the movie. And then Finley's able to pull him to the good side, if you will.
Well, I can say that my 4-year-old has now informed me that there has to be a Finley and it has to come home, so I think it worked.
Well, you're lucky you got the stuffed animal on your way.
Yeah, it definitely worked. But the world itself, I think the thing that Sam got right and that you guys did that a lot of these films don't is there's a sense of wonder and awe to the land itself.
Yeah, that's Sam. He's just so good at that. I mean, the reason Sam Raimi's perfect for this movie is it isn't just action fantasy. I mean, he finds a way to bring so much heart to it, and it really opens you up to receiving the movie in a much deeper way.
For breaking entertainment news and more, follow @HitFix on Twitter or visit hitfix.com.